Frequency 1138 is all clear and clanker free. This is Clone Army Radio.
What is up, Clone Army? We are back. Last week we covered Old Friends Not Forgotten, Part 1 of the Siege of Mandalore. And as you guessed it, this week is Part 2, The Phantom Apprentice. And we have a new co-host this week. Commander Cuatros.
I was like, who? Who is it?
Oh, you didn't get the news? You've been cut.
Oh. All right. Well, I guess I'll be going now.
Welcome to the show, Commander Cuatros, even though you've been here since day one.
Glad to be here in my new persona, if you will. Still human cyborg relations.
Yes.
Force life.
Oh, he throws that back.
Force. That's for your old schoolers. Force life.
Nice.
My name is constantly changing, so be on the lookout for new renditions.
You're like a man with many hats, but you're a man with many names, right?
A man with many names, yes.
And as per Huge, I am just ARC Trooper 5s.
High fives.
I love that little droid.
That's a good one.
So I think we're just going to kind of hop right into this thing. The first thing I noticed, I'm sure you noticed it, no intro in this one at all.
No intro.
Like last episode, there was, a different type of intro. There was the Star Wars theme and all of that. This one just pops in the Lucasfilm, the Part 2, the Phantom Apprentice. I think it was dead silent. And then you get it cuts right into where the last episode left off with Ahsoka holding her lightsabers, and Captain Talks a Lot, Darth Maul, Half Maul. He's all like, "This cracks me up." It's like, "Ahsoka Tano, is it? I can't say yours is a name familiar to me." Then how does he know who she is?
Yeah, I know exactly. How was he like Ahsoka Tano? Yeah, how did he know her name? And it's not like she says, "I'm Ahsoka Tano, I'm coming in and I'm coming to get you."
Right?
Yeah, I don't know. It's weird.
I don't know. I think that was just kind of, no offense, obviously. Not like they'd be offended anyways. They make tons of money. Just kind of bad writing on that part. Just that part.
Yeah.
Because it just doesn't make sense.
The one thing we do have to go on, the title of the episode, The Phantom Apprentice. Just to get your thoughts real quick. Question: who is the Phantom Apprentice?
Anakin.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
But could the case be made that like Ahsoka could be the Phantom Apprentice, or even Darth Maul was an original Phantom Apprentice?
Right. Yeah, I guess it could. It could technically go any way. It sort of gets a little revealed in this episode later on, though.
Right.
That Anakin has been molded into being the next apprentice. So that's kind of where I went. But there's also a case, I guess, that could be made that Maul is trying to work some angles in the background, kind of like his former master. To where he, because you refer to Palpatine as the Phantom Menace, right?
Right.
So then you've got his former apprentice kind of doing a similar, not as big, obviously not on that grand scale of taking over the galaxy, but he's, a crime syndicate leader. He's running the Mandos and all that. So, he is kind of Phantom E, and he was an apprentice. What are your thoughts on on Ahsoka being potential.
Well, the thing is it seems like Maul is trying to recruit her after, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
In this episode. So it kind of seems like she could be his phantom apprentice if he's the master. There's a couple of things he goes, he says, everything you've done has led to this moment. And I see right? Everything you've done has led up to this moment. So I don't know. That's like a sentence that kind of stood out to me.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's another one where he goes, I see the Padawan needs another lesson.
I love that line.
Or, you know, I'm paraphrasing, but so he calls her a Padawan. So I'm thinking, you know, I think there's multiple Phantom Apprentices, apprentice I guess you could say, in this episode. Yeah, I mean, Anakin being like, you know, Phantom Apprentice A, you know, Maul being, you know, B, and then, you know, slightly, you know, coming in third is a potential Phantom Menace of Ahsoka. And Ahsoka is trying to get Maul to kind of join her side too. So, you know what I mean? There's a lot of apprenticeships that are being thrown out there.
Right. I mean, I guess the one like tiny argument about Ahsoka would be that he knows that she is Anakin's former Padawan. She was never, well, I guess technically she was promoted to Jedi Knight, but that was when she gave the council the finger and left. So, you know, so she's not technically a Jedi Knight. If she was still with the Order, I mean. But yeah, no, I mean, that's good. I was just like straightforward. It's Anakin, and here comes Cuatros with some other ideas. I like it.
Also, if you want to go another route, she was a Phantom Apprentice of Anakin because she didn't show up in the movies. So
nice.
another way you could take it, you know what I mean? Another angle. So I think it's a very cool title, and I think it could point to a lot of different directions.
Yeah.
And because we kind of see where she was during the movies, you know, what she was doing. So
right, which is really cool.
I wonder which one Dave Filoni was, you know, really going with, but it's hard to not for it not to be Anakin, you know, as we'll find out a little bit. But
right. Well, you know, when we have Dave Filoni on our show in the year 3000.
Yeah, 3000.
Nice. I was totally hoping you were going to do that.
Yeah, 3000. That's what, 21 years old? No, 22 years old. Conan O'Brien.
Oh my gosh. Wow, why'd you have to put a number on that?
Because it's still good.
Oh, I know, but it made me feel very old. That was awesome, though. I'm glad you did it, because that was what was in my head when I said 3000. I'm like, I hope he says it.
We just dated ourselves. Yep.
It happens. So, you know, he's, I wanted to ask you, there's like that quick conversation. Maul says something like, you know, I imagine we have several mutual friends, and Ahsoka, you know, says, I wouldn't put it that way. And he goes, of course not, but I'm afraid your way of thinking is behind the times. Yes. What do you think he means by that? Well,
he knows what's up. He knows that Darth Sidious is in charge of both sides of the war, and it's coming to an end. His Maul has these calculations, if my calculations are correct.
Mm-hmm.
He knows that the time has come that Darth Sidious is gonna like reveal himself, and it's over for the Jedi and for the Republic. Well, not the Senate, but, you know, I think, doesn't Darth Maul know that Palpatine and Sidious are the same?
I believe so. And see, I thought too that I think Dooku also knew that.
Dooku does?
I think so. Because that look that he gives Palpatine in Revenge of the Sith when he does the do it. You know, or no, well, actually, it's before that when he says, kill him now. And Dooku looks at Palpatine like, dude, I thought I was your boy. You know,
you and I were supposed to be buds, best buds.
So I think Dooku knew as well.
And another side note on Dooku, because we're talking about the Dukes, isn't he a little old to begin his apprenticeship? You know?
Well, but he was a Jedi for so long. I mean, that's just like, I mean, it's basically the same thing as Anakin. You know, being trained as a Jedi. Obviously, he started a little older than a typical youngling would, but
yeah.
You know, Dooku was there from the start as a Jedi, so he got all of that Force training and lightsaber training, and then he just decided to be evil. I don't think there's really any age issue with that one.
Or the Sith just take you whatever age you want to switch or start.
Yeah, it seems
they don't have the same regulations, I guess.
Right.
Oh, that's cool. It's
Join the dark side. We have cookies, you know.
What else do you want?
It's a good question. I definitely think it's a good question because
I just always found it odd. I mean, Darth Maul looked like a good age to be, coming out of the shadows, and revealing himself. But when I would see Dooku out, my first question is like, boy, he's a little old. You know, he looks older than Palpatine in a way, and I mean, he's believable as a bad guy. Don't get me wrong, but he just didn't have that like apprentice. Like he had more of a master feel to him than apprentice.
Right, and on that note, if you've seen most of the Clone Wars now, he sort of is a master. He's got Ventress as his, apprentice, even though he refers to her as assassin or whatever. Out in the open, she's an assassin, but I think when the two of them talk, he refers to her as an apprentice, I believe.
Right.
So I think, I don't know. I feel like we could go on for a while on that one, because in Attack of the Clones, you almost get a feel like Dooku's trying to recruit Obi-Wan, when he captures him on Geonosis. And he tells him, what if I told you a Dark Lord of the Sith was, controlling the Senate or whatever? And Obi-Wan's like, blah, 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 you're a liar or whatever. And he even says to Obi-Wan, together we could destroy the Sith. Like he's like, come on, man, help me take out Palpatine so I can be in charge. Because that's what the Sith, the rule of two. If you've gotten any more into the Darth Bane books, you kind of get a feel for, I'm not spoiling anything, you just kind of get a feel for, yes, there's a rule of two, but that number two is always looking for their apprentice, because they want to destroy their master and become the master.
Right. So it's almost like competition keeps you sharp.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So that's good stuff.
But on the note of Darth Maul, or half Maul, he was actually trained as a baby, I think, by Palpatine. Yeah. So I think that's what leads me to kind of think that maybe Palpatine had nothing to do with creating Anakin, because he had Darth Maul as a baby and was molding him to be his apprentice. I think he was putting some serious time into Maul to be that guy.
Yeah, so if he's working with Maul this whole time, why would he go and inject somebody with some metachlorians?
Right.
Oh, that's a good point. I didn't think about that. All right. So Dooku, to recap, Dooku is just fine, just the way he is to be Sith.
Yeah, I believe so.
All right.
It just like you said, there's no doesn't seem like there's any age cap or anything on when, because if they've already been trained in the Force, then it's just a matter of becoming evil and tapping into your anger. Right. Good stuff. I had no idea that all of that was going to come out of the question I asked you. That's why we're here.
So Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, no, you can go ahead, man.
Yeah, no, in this little conversation where Maul and Ahsoka, are exchanging, words or whatever. It seems like Maul is very quick to drop Darth Sidious as a name drop. Good thing he's wearing metal boots. With all the names he's dropping.
Nice.
And but he's not willing to like shed the fact that like it's Palps. He keeps that card in his deck still, which I think would have been like great information to be like, look, I'm going to tell you who Sidious is because it's going to help you guys figure out what his plans and it probably would have like thwarted his plans, and that's what he's trying to do. He's trying to thwart plans, but he's trying to thwart the whole Anakin plan of Anakin becoming Darth Vader. But but like the real revenge would have been to like let people know who Palpatine was.
Yeah,
because I mean at this point we got. Well, we'll recap it a little bit, but we're gonna find out that Palpatine is doing some naughty stuff. So where there's smoke, there's fire.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm not sure why he wouldn't reveal it, other than he still sees Anakin as a threat.
Yeah,
and
jealous,
right? And I think that he would probably. Well, I think he's looking. I wonder. So that's the thing I've been wondering is what if Obi-Wan and Anakin showed up instead of Ahsoka?
Ooh, the what if game.
Yeah, and
welcome to that segment, the what if segment.
And what if
brought to you by 79's Bar?
Nice. What if Maul was planning on getting Obi-Wan out of the way and then telling Anakin that Palpatine is the Dark Lord of the Sith?
Oh.
And be like, you've been being played by this guy, and maybe Maul has some stuff in his pocket, like, think about this situation and that one and this one, who do you think orchestrated these? And, maybe tries to turn Anakin onto his side. Because if he's obviously knows enough about Anakin to know that he's powerful.
Right.
So maybe his plan was to turn Anakin into his apprentice, and together they would kill Palpatine.
Okay.
The only thing that kills that is I think Anakin at this point was already having his nightmares of Padme dying. No, because he wouldn't even have been talking to Palpatine about learning about Darth Plagueis or anything if he had gone to Mandalore. So it could work. Could have been.
Yeah.
It could have at least been what Maul was thinking there.
Yeah, he was definitely trying to lure Obi-Wan in to get back at him, and Anakin to stop him becoming Darth Vader and thwart Palpatine's or Darth Sidious's plans for Vader. Yeah, it could have worked, but Ahsoka Tano shows up instead in his stead. So
right. I mean, really, he should be relieved there, because if Obi-Wan and Anakin showed up, I don't think he could have fought the two of them.
No, I don't think so either.
He struggled with her.
Exactly. So he's got to get better on those new feet of his. Right.
Yeah, you noticed that, I guess, huh?
Yeah.
When they're fighting, he's a little off balance.
Yeah, what's up with that? I mean, he's supposed to be like all, karate, or not karate, but staff master. But she takes him down.
Well, he's got those are new legs.
Yeah.
So remember, he starts out with like the spidery type of legs, and then
right. Well, he starts off with his real legs.
Well, right. And he loses those.
Those get lost in like, I don't know, some kind of
like situation. A Death Star tunnel. Hey, I wonder if Maz has Darth Maul's legs.
That's a story for another time. Orange eyes.
Awesome. So I think because he's got the robot legs, he's just kind of I mean, he's not totally off, but he's slightly off.
Plus,
just different weight or, something.
And to his credit, they were on like a tight ledge and whatnot too. So, I mean, it's just like that WWE kind of maneuver. If it wasn't for this person that came in, I would have won the match.
Seems to happen a lot on there too.
Yeah, when two big time people are fighting each other.
Yeah.
If this guy wouldn't come in with that chair. Oh boy.
So when he tells her that, what does he say? The Jedi and the Republic will no longer be the controlling interest in the galaxy. And Ahsoka's like, who will be? You? And he's like, immediately, no. And he says Darth Sidious. She's never heard that name before, as far as I know, but the look on her face made me think that she's heard the name before. Or was she just like, oh, great, there's another Darth something out there? Like, I don't know. I don't know. I was trying to figure out what she was thinking there, I guess.
I was thinking that was the first time she heard the name, and she's like processing the name. Like,
okay,
have I ever heard that name? Or yeah, I think your second reaction might be right.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then you also noticed while they're talking, she presses that button on her gauntlets or whatever
to let Rex know what's up, where she's at.
Yeah. And right before Rex shows up, Ahsoka and Maul do like a quick, lightsaber clash, and Maul's just like, not yet.
Not yet.
Yeah, and I'm like, obviously I've seen the episode before, but I was thinking, I'm like, okay, he also needs to process, because he was expecting, the dynamic duo of Kenobi and Skywalker to show up. He had a plan there, but then she showed up.
Yeah, because I mean, his plans are kind of like up in the air now. So he's like, should I kill Asano? I mean, should I try to he's trying to recruit her at some point. You know what I mean? He's not trying to be like, oh, let's keep moving forward with my plan because his plans are shot. Right. So it's it's time to adapt and overcome, really. So in order to do that, he's going to need information,
which he finds.
All right. Yeah.
So I like how as soon as Rex shows up, the little battle or whatever ends, and Maul takes off, and you get like this Scooby-Doo / like old school horror film music playing when they're running through the tunnels looking for Maul. And I don't know, I just got Scooby-Doo vibes, especially when Ahsoka goes around the corner and expects to see Maul, and it's Rex, and they're just like, it's just I don't know, it made me feel like I was watching Scooby-Doo for a minute. Not that that was a bad thing, it was just the vibe I grabbed.
Nice.
So obviously Maul gets away, like, the villain always gets away.
Oh, he's got to get away.
Right. So what do they do after that? Is that when they talk to Obi-Wan?
Yeah, Obi-Wan shows up in the hologram, and I think he brings us up to speed where we're at with this episode and Revenge of the Sith.
Oh yeah, because he mentions that he's going to Utapau to capture General Grievous.
Utapau comes into play again.
Oh, that's what I wanted to ask you about. That part was okay. So first Bo-Katan is getting Ahsoka, Rex, and Obi-Wan up to speed on the efforts of the battle, and then Obi-Wan, like you said, updates us to where they are in Revenge of the Sith and Utapau and all that.
Yeah, and Dooku getting killed.
Right.
Oh, wait, not yet.
Yeah, right. Yeah, not yet. Yeah. So Ahsoka brings up Darth Sidious.
Right.
And Obi-Wan is like, I'll tell you what I know, or what the council knows, or whatever. Do you notice this is I don't know if there's anything to it, but Rex presses a button on that R5 droid,
Yeah.
And the droid like rolls away, and I'm like, okay, so one, I guess it could just be that they're done using the holo map that the droid was using. But to me, it felt like they were getting that droid out of there to make sure, Skynet wasn't listening, like it was private convo time, and they didn't want a droid around.
That's a good catch. I was going to ask you the same thing. Why did he shut the droid off to, why did the droid have to leave?
It's the only thing I could come up with was that this was like, you don't want droids around for this conversation.
For the Darth Sidious talk? That's a private talk?
Yeah.
Yeah, probably. I mean, I find it odd that they know about Darth Sidious at this point. Like, at least Obi-Wan does. Because I remember they don't find out about a Sith Lord until the end of Revenge of the Sith. Or I have to watch Revenge of the Sith again to kind of like get my bearings.
Mm-hmm.
Don't I?
Me too, though. But did you say a Sith Lord?
Yes. I said a Sith Lord.
Nice. Well, here's the thing. What we were just talking about with Dooku, Obi-Wan heard the name Darth Sidious from Dooku. In Attack of the Clones. But the part that gets me,
Attack of the Clones, that's right.
Yeah. But I'm kind of here with you, and I'm sure I've watched the prequels more than you have. Okay, or Obi-Wan says, I want to make sure I wrote this down right. Yeah, okay. So Obi-Wan says Darth Sidious is the Sith Lord who orchestrated the Clone Wars and played both sides of it from the beginning. Mm-hmm. And my first reaction to that is, whoa, when did we figure that part out? That he orchestrated the Clone Wars and played both sides. I didn't think that was revealed until Anakin discovers that Palpatine is the Sith Lord they've been looking for.
Right. So
I don't know. I'm right there with you. And obviously after we get through these episodes, I will be watching the prequels again because this is making me want to watch them really bad.
Same.
But also for these types of reasons, because I don't remember that being revealed at all.
Yeah, I wonder if it's like a little bit of a snafu here, because like I kind of remember it being. I mean, okay, so yeah, you're right. Dooku told him about Sidious and Attack of the Clones, but like, yeah, they didn't figure stuff out until it was too late. Like at this point, Dooku was just killed.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Or are we later on? Did we think we are?
No, because the next part is when he tells them that Count Dooku is dead, and he says something along the lines of, with Dooku gone, they lost any chance in learning more about Sidious. So now they're hoping that they can get that info out of Maul. So no, we're right there. I don't.
Are we?
Yeah.
Okay, because he does talk about okay, yeah. Okay. So we're just making sure we're not farther along in the movies than we should be.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So yeah, they don't catch that until later on, and then if Obi-Wan knows that Darth Sidious is playing both sides, are they just looking for proof for like?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Because all right. So where we're at in this movie, in Revenge of the Sith, we are like, that's a good catch. We are further along than Dooku dying. At this point, Obi-Wan's being sent to Utapau, which means he's already talked to Anakin to tell him to spy on the Chancellor.
Right.
So we're a little further along, but I still don't remember them knowing that he's playing both sides, because I think where you were headed is where I was headed yesterday when I was watching this. If they know that he's playing both sides and they're telling Anakin to spy on Palpatine, how do they not know he is Darth Sidious?
Yeah.
They have to know.
That's the question that pops in my head that I don't know that's back there.
Yeah.
Until you work it out. But yeah, it's the same. How do you not know? How do you not put the pieces together? He even talks about a puzzle, doesn't he?
Yeah. I actually have it written down. He said he's hoping Maul can provide the missing pieces. if they capture him. So
it seems like there's one piece that's missing, and like you have the entire picture, and it's like, well, I don't know where this piece goes. It could only go here. Yeah, but I need someone to tell me that it goes there.
Right. It's so insane, and it's like they know that Palpatine has been in power for way too long, way past his term expiration.
Exactly.
They know Sidious is orchestrating the war on both sides. Of course, again, we're outside looking in. We've already seen the whole story, but it's still, these are wise Jedi. Windu, Yoda, Obi-Wan, Ki-Adi-Mundi, Shakti. These people are smart. They're wise. Right. And I get it. Yes, the dark side clouds things, but how can you still not smell what the Rock is cooking? How can you not?
Because you don't want to? You don't want to believe it, or you're incapable of believing it, or you're too wise, you're like, nothing like this could ever go under our nose. But here's all the pieces, and here's all the proof that it is going down under your nose. You even know it. You know about Order 66 already. Right. You know about Darth Sidious. You know about somebody playing both sides. You know about Senator Palpatine staying in longer than he should. You know it all. You just don't want to put it together.
It's all just smacking them right in the face, and they're just like, no, there's got to be something else to this.
Yeah,
I mean, I get it. I guess he plays that. He plays his role as a chancellor pretty innocently. Something else that I wanted to mention about Dooku that we sort of already touched on was, him. I think at least that he knows Palpatine is Sidious, and Palpatine I think Palpatine was going to tell Anakin to kill Dooku regardless, because I think that's part of him corrupting him.
Right.
But I think he did it too because he wanted to guarantee, because Anakin didn't want to kill him. I shouldn't. It's not the Jedi way and all of that. Do it.
Do it.
But
do it.
Say Anakin captured Dooku. What if he was just like, no, Palps, I'm not freaking killing him. We're capturing him. He's going to stand trial or whatever. Dooku would have blabbed. He would have been like, you guys are blind. Palpatine is Sidious. Go get him. I think, Dooku's as BA as Dooku is, I think in a, I don't even know if I would call it a cowardly way. Mm-hmm. I guess just in a way to try to save face, he would tell them whatever he knew, hoping that the Jedi would, go easy on him.
Oh, I gotcha. A little bit of like, trying to make things better for himself. You have to, at the end of the day.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no,
right.
That makes sense. You know what? I just compared this whole thing to Superman and Clark Kent. He's
okay.
Like, whenever Superman is saving the day, Clark Kent cannot be found, but they never put it together who Superman is.
Right.
Where is that Clark Kent?
He was just here.
Was just here. I turn around. Superman's here and Clark Kent's gone. They don't want to put it together.
That's funny.
Because he's wearing the glasses.
Right? The glasses change it all.
It's all about them glasses. Those glasses are like, he can't be Superman. Clark Kent wears glasses. Superman wears no glasses. And Superman doesn't wear a suit.
Right.
Clark Kent wears a suit.
They look nothing alike.
They look nothing alike. Darth Sidious wears a cloak. Palpatine, you can see his face. Senator or Chancellor Palpatine, you can see his whole face. They're not the same person.
See, that's funny.
That's what's going on here.
It's a really good comparison. So after Obi-Wan tells them about Sidious, he asks to speak with Ahsoka privately.
Privately, yeah. One-on-one.
Right, and that's
Mano a Tano.
Nice. Good stuff, dude. That's when he tells her that Anakin was sent on a special assignment to spy on the Chancellor, And
Right.
Ahsoka's just like, whoa, what are you doing?
Yeah, Ahsoka wants more reinforcements, and Obi-Wan's explaining why he can't. He's like,
Right.
"Well, I'm going to Opatao, and Annie's gonna go spying." So,
Yep.
and Ahsoka breaks it down real quick, though.
Yeah. I mean, you're having him spy on his mentor and friend. Here's the thing that gets me too, though, about everyone referring to Palpatine as Anakin's mentor. Isn't that supposed to be Obi-Wan?
Oh, yeah.
Where's Obi-Wan? And especially because when does Anakin have time to hang out with Palpatine? When him and Obi-Wan aren't on special assignments, Rex and Anakin are on assignments, or Anakin and Ahsoka are on assignments. And when he's not doing that, he's hanging out with Padme.
Yeah.
When does he have time to be mentored? I mean, obviously, a lot of time goes by. He's 8 years old in the Phantom Menace, and then there's 10 years, and then I think 3 years. So, I mean, there's a lot of time in there, but it's just, that's the part that kind of gets me is when did he have time, and why is Obi-Wan not Anakin's mentor?
Yeah, isn't Anakin still Obi-Wan's? Oh, is Anakin a Jedi Knight at this point?
I think so. Yeah, he's a Jedi Knight. So I would imagine, obviously, he's not a master. They don't want to make him a master. So I believe that, yeah, because that's the next step. So,
okay.
I don't know.
So he's a knight, so he doesn't have to be part of Obi-Wan's under Obi-Wan's wing anymore. He's free as a bird.
Basically, yeah.
Okay, cool. So he's able to pick his own mentors, or
right. I mean, I guess mentors are more, I guess to real world. I guess for me, I look up to my dad as a mentor. He's my dad, but he's my mentor. But I also, look at others as mentors as well. People that can teach me other things about life or work or what have you. So I think that, I guess you could consider Palpatine a mentor. It's just, I don't know. I guess it's just weird to me because they always make it sound like Palpatine is more important to Anakin than Obi-Wan is. That's the feeling I get out of it, at least.
Yeah. Not that, how you have multiple mentors, Anakin can't have multiple mentors.
Yeah, no, he's not allowed.
He's not allowed. He needs to Obi-Wan's. Yeah.
No, I guess just talking about this with you, it's kind of making it make more sense to me. That okay, it makes sense that he could consider Palpatine a mentor.
Because everybody else pretty much does. Ahsoka does.
Right.
She even says, how could he spy on his mentor? Something like that. So
he's a friend and a mentor.
Right.
It's basically almost the same type of things that Anakin said to Obi-Wan. And even Obi-Wan's response to Ahsoka in this situation is very similar to what he says to Anakin. Because Obi-Wan wants Ahsoka to speak with Anakin. And she was like, and what? Defend the council's actions? I hardly think I'm the best person for that.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, very true.
Yeah.
And then Obi-Wan...
They kicked me out.
Obi-Wan's just like, Ahsoka, the council isn't always right.
Oh.
And here's the thing. I love Obi-Wan. He's my favorite character next to, Luke. And I think Ahsoka is my top 3 now. Obi-Wan is very company man,
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
He's pro Jedi Council, shouldn't he, if he feels this way about what they're doing to Anakin, shouldn't he be speaking up? I mean, he is his master still.
Yeah.
And hey, Anakin's got some stuff going on. I don't think this is the best situation to put him in. Something. And even here he's going to Ahsoka, which I guess makes sense because she's outside of the order. She's outside looking in, so she might have a different point of view, a certain point of view. But I just feel again, I think we talked about in the past, if Qui-Gon didn't get killed, if Qui-Gon trained Anakin, and somehow we still got to this point in Revenge of the Sith, and the Council was like, Anakin, we want you to spy, Qui-Gon would have been like, no.
Nope.
It's not happening. This isn't the right way to do it. But if Qui-Gon was alive, I don't know how far Palpatine would have gotten.
Yeah. I mean, he found the needle in the haystack that is the chosen one,
He is the chosen one.
I think if you give him another movie to investigate, use his investigation powers, that he figures out who this Darth Sidious is. If Obi-Wan explains it to him, like,
mm-hmm.
I heard this name, or Darth Sidious. I'm like, well, there's only one person that's telling us what to do. That kind of like can override the council, and that's the Chancellor. So maybe the Chancellor is
right.
Darth Sidious. You're a genius.
I guess that's why they had to kill Qui-Gon.
Yep. You make too much sense for the story. You're out.
Right.
We'll get over too quickly. We'd be done in 2 movies instead of 3.
we can't have. We have to have a trilogy.
We got to have a. I know. Isn't that funny? He has to have a trilogy. Like, no, man. You can just make one movie and call it a prequel. You don't have to make all 3. Come on. And look how thin it gets. Yeah.
So what happens after that? That's the other part is Obi-Wan's got a thing. He's got to run.
Yeah.
and Rex comes in to say that they're under attack or whatever, and Ahsoka kind of runs off and stops, and she turns around and she tells Obi-Wan. She says to Obi-Wan, "Tell Anakin," and Obi-Wan says, "I will." I actually Googled this morning. Was it this morning or last night? I think it was last night. I couldn't come up with anything. What is she telling him to tell Anakin?
Yeah, I don't know.
The only thing I could come up with just from Googling was some people were saying, those lines that Obi-Wan says after he Darth Maul's Anakin in Revenge of the Sith, you were my brother, I loved you, and all that stuff was what some people were saying. I don't know. Because he already told, in a roundabout way, Obi-Wan told Anakin that the council wasn't right, as far as, Anakin's like, how can you ask me to do this when he's telling him to spy? And Obi-Wan's like, the council is asking. In other words, it's not me asking you, it's the council. I don't know. Any thoughts?
Yeah, she just kind of threw me because, she just kind of says, right? She just says, no, I really don't have anything on this. And then I'm kind of like clueless is what she's talking about.
Yeah, I pretty much am too. I don't.
So this is where the listeners can come in and fill in the gaps for us. Let us know.
What does Ahsoka want Obi-Wan to tell Anakin? We're counting on you guys out there.
Let me throw a couple things out there. She keeps saying, "Hey, don't go to the dark side." I don't know.
Yeah.
They stay in the light. I don't know what she doesn't know that. She doesn't know so much. Does she know about Padme and all that?
I think so. I'd have
she
to
know that
rewatch everything.
That they got married and it's a connection. It's like an actual relationship and everything.
She's got to know. I think. Even Obi-Wan knows. So
yeah. So maybe she's gonna say, "Hey, watch your back, man, because no one's watching it for you. I'm not there. So be careful." That's what else. What else could she?
Yeah. There's really nothing, because if he's already having nightmares about Padme dying, he's going to listen to whoever is telling him how to fix that.
Right.
So I don't really know what anyone could say to him. Even like Ahsoka, I left the Jedi Order and I'm doing okay. You could leave with Padme and be all good.
Oh, that's not bad.
But he's already worrying about Padme dying, so I don't know if that would even. I don't know.
Yeah, and Obi-Wan was ready to leave the Order too. If only she said. If only Satine said it. So there is a way out.
Yeah, it's not like other organizations that, once you're in, you're in.
Right.
You can't actually leave.
For his life.
Nice. Well, at least I'm not alone there, Cuatros. I'm glad that neither one of us have an idea, I guess.
Stump me. We threw a couple of suggestions, but we don't really know. It's just some talk before we find out that Jesse's, captured.
You know what it's kind of like? And we'll move on after this. It's very similar to The Rise of Skywalker when Finn keeps saying, Rey, I need to tell you. And then he doesn't tell her. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like it's very similar to that. It's like they don't. Obviously, we know the answer to that one. He was going to say I'm force sensitive or whatever, but with this situation, it's like I got nothing. Tell him what?
When something like this happens, I think you just kind of maybe something got left on the cutting room floor, got edited out, and they didn't clean it up real good, or in screenwriting, you kind of want to have questions that
don't get answered.
That don't get answered to kind of like keep people, engaged in the story.
Yes.
So I don't know. Could be something like that. Old Dave Filoni using his film school tactics to get through the script.
That's a good point. So yeah, Maul captures Jesse, and I like their little conversation a little bit. Jesse's like the hardened soldier. You're not going to get anything out of me, and Maul's like, how charming that you actually believe that statement to be true. I'm just like, because he knows he's going to get the information.
Yeah. Did you know that Darth Maul has his power? Has the Kylo Ren look into your mind power?
Nope, I did not know that until this episode.
Same here.
Yeah, I thought that was kind of cool to see it somewhere else. What do they call it? The mind. It's not the mind trick, obviously. It's like opposite almost.
It's like the mind suck almost.
Yeah. I just went to Spaceballs.
That's funny.
Mega Made.
Yeah, Mega Made. Do something.
Do something.
So, and here's another thing. Jesse. Talk about Jesse. Talk about a guy that's kind of survived for being a named trooper. And he's an ARC trooper, right?
Yes.
And he doesn't get much love. It doesn't seem like a Fives or a Rex, or not Rex, but like an Echo. He kind of just, it's Jesse,
Right.
He doesn't get, but look at it. He's at the very end episodes. I mean, everybody else, even the rookie squad, the entire rookie squad is gone. Mm-hmm. Well, at this point, can we? At this point, we find out that early season 7, Echo came back, but for being a trooper that's kind of been through some stuff, this could have been a point where they could have killed him off, and it would have been a pretty glorious way to go. Darth Maul, but we come to find out that Darth Maul is gonna just use him for the information and give him back, I guess.
Yeah, that was interesting that he gave him back. So do you think because Jesse's been around for so long, do you think Maul somehow knew that and knew that he was going to have information on Ahsoka more than any other one? Well, more than anyone but Rex.
I think one of the when they go down to the Undercity or whatever part that they were got captured
sewers.
At the sewer. Yeah. One of those troopers is still alive.
Oh, right, Sterling,
yeah. And he gives up the information that Maul knew somehow that Jesse was,
Oh, does he say that?
Yeah.
Oh, that went right over my helmet. Nice, dude.
It's a real quick one, yeah. So Darth Maul knows he got the best of the bunch, if you will.
Okay.
He got the brain bug, if Stormtroopers reference.
Nice.
You're some great big smart brain bug, aren't you?
Oh, that's good stuff though, dude. Yeah, I must have missed that. Like that he knew to take Jesse. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So this part when he's talking to Jesse, it's like I think sometimes Maul just kind of drifts off into space and likes to listen to himself talk.
Yeah, he fancies himself a poet.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
It's very like Shakespearean.
Yeah. I'm going to go in a soliloquy now.
Right. It's not, I don't think it's a bad thing. It's just not, I guess, what I expected. You know, I never would have thought he would be like this after watching The Phantom Menace, you know?
You know, he spent a lot of time in isolation and he only had himself to keep himself occupied.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, this is probably his mind is definitely been damaged.
Mm-hmm.
So he probably has a little bit of like the Wilson, you know, Tom Hanks and Castaway type of scenario thing going on. He likes to think out loud and plot his revenge and count the waves. And
it's a good point.
Yeah,
he mentions something in here in his babble that takes me back to a popular theme ever since I've seen Game of Thrones. He's talking about he wasn't made aware of the grand design, but he played his part, and then he was forgotten, cast aside, but I survived. And he goes, and I can thrive in the chaos that is to come. Chaos is a ladder. Littlefinger from Game of Thrones. It's like that. I've never really picked up that theme so much ever since I've seen that show. So he's smart. You know, he's like, I'm going to use all of this to my advantage to rise to whatever power I can rise to.
Right.
And I thought that was really cool.
He's grown wise in his days. Like he's not just charging into battle and using his brute strength to get through it. I mean, he's using his mind now, and I think he's getting older. And with age, you got to adjust your tactics because as it come to find out, you know, you can't keep up with them younglings physically for very long. You got to outthink them, and outplay them and outlast them. Oh,
so what does he? He just says a couple other things, and then he basically sucks the info out of Jesse.
Yeah.
Before he does, though, I love Jesse's like, we can go round and round in this circle if you want, but I ain't telling you anything. And I'm just like, that's cool, dude. He's a tough soldier.
Right.
You know, little does he know that he has no control over that, but
right. And again, it seems like it's like it doesn't it hurts whatever power Maul has because he starts screaming and we cut away because it's just too gruesome. You don't want to see this part, people.
Right.
You don't want to see the memories being sucked out of somebody. It's horrible.
Nice. Didn't if I remember correctly, didn't Poe scream in The Force Awakens when Kylo Ren was doing that?
Oh, I think. Who is it? Who talks first? I talk first. You talk first.
It was after that. That was like when they capture him. But yeah, I think when he's got him in that interrogation room, I don't know. It's been a while since I've watched that one.
Yeah, don't really feel like watching it to find out. But
I think that whatever they do, it definitely hurts.
Rey was tried to, or Ren had Rey in the same chair, and I don't think she was hurting. She was, you know, you could tell she was like fighting it, you know.
Yeah.
But I don't think she was like grinning or gritting her teeth or something like that.
Yeah, but she was like, she somehow knew how to block it or something. I don't know.
She had the counter. She had the upside. Kylo's got the downside.
Two sides to every force.
Yeah.
Nice. Forget the ring. I found it in a Cracker Jack box. It's good stuff. Before, I guess something we forgot was before. Yeah, it was before he does the mind thing to Jesse. He sends Gar Saxon to go and
oh right.
Well, I mean, he just basically pauses and he's like, what does he say? I think something about Olmec and loose lips.
Yeah, he doesn't want him to spill the beans on the plans. He doesn't use those words. I'm paraphrasing a little bit.
Yeah.
But he doesn't want them. And then that's funny because when we get to that point, they walk in. Ahsoka and Bo-Katan, right? Walk into the cell.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, all right, spill the beans. And he's like, all right, here are the beans.
Right.
You got your pinto, you got your red kidney.
Nice.
you got your all favorite black bean. and then he's like, wasn't it like Almac was saying something to the lines of like Darth Maul wanted us Darth Maul wanted a Jedi that he had a dream about to come. So and then he gets shot up. Pow, pow.
Yeah, and dude, this part is so much like Attack of the Clones when Jango Fett snipes Zam Wessel when Anakin and Obi-Wan are on Coruscant and Anakin's like, tell us or whatever, and she's about to blab and Jango snipes her. And I'm like, this is very similar to that. Almost like the same angle, too, because Gar Saxon's kind of up on those rafters shooting down.
Yeah. You know what I always thought to go to that spot in Attack of the Clones? Why didn't Jango just take out all three of them? Why did he just take out Sam Wessel?
I don't know, plot armor?
I mean, if he had the element of surprise. And similar with was his name Gar Saxon? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Similar with him. I mean, he's got a weapon. He's got it trained in the area. He could take them all out. And he only takes out like the person that he's supposed to take out. He doesn't take out Ahsoka. She doesn't know. She doesn't feel it. She's just not using the Force. The Force sense is not tingling. I never understand this. These assassins, like, they can end everything. Like,
well, but Almac was on the contract. The other people weren't.
Okay, like he doesn't get paid if more bodies drop.
I guess that's about all I got. I don't know. I mean, again, plot armor. You can't shoot these characters
in the back. Call it game over and an episode over.
Right.
So tell us, Almac, and Almac's like, okay. Maul is
right. That's good. Yeah, he manages to tell Ahsoka the name though, Skywalker.
Yeah, which it reminded me of Yoda.
Right.
Yeah. Yoda saying, "There is another Skywalker."
Yep. It was very similar.
It was totally similar. Almac is the Yoda of the Mandalorians or whatnot, but I make light of the situation. But
did you notice too when he's saying the name, you hear the Imperial March?
Yes,
very quietly underneath.
Yes, that's a good catch. I like that.
Was really cool.
It make you they're implanting these little subliminal messages.
Yep.
So always fun when they do that.
So yeah, then so he snipes Almac. Ahsoka gets the info. Bo-Katan and I think Rex chase after Gar Saxon, who gets away. And Bo almost gets crushed by that elevator.
Right. She's got to use her rockets, her jetpack, and they're working so hard that like the jetpacks are like starting to blow up a little bit, a little over. There's a little bit of tension there because like, all right, is the jetpack gonna give way? Find out next week.
Right. Totally.
A little suspense, but it's fine. She gets out. Gar Saxon lives another day, and Bo-Katan is just is what it is. I'll go about my business now. No need to chase.
Right.
It's a big city. I wouldn't even know where to start.
So here's something I want to see if you caught when Gar Saxon goes back to the sewers or whatever, and you see Maul speaking with the syndicate leaders. Did you happen to notice Dryden Voss from Solo in there?
Oh, I was wondering where he was at.
I don't know if you have it open, but 11 minutes 37 seconds should be a shot where he's on the far right.
Okay. Hold on. Okay, so that's the guy on the far right.
He's like doing this, got his hand on his chin.
I have it at 137. Hold on. Okay, yeah. Oh, okay. So that's the guy from at the end of Solo.
That's the leader of the Crimson Dawn.
Right.
Yeah.
The leader of the Crimson Dawn, right? He's at the end as well as the middle. And is that the dude from Shadow of the Empire? And it looks like he's wearing the clothes.
That's it's definitely the same race, but it Prince Shizor or something like that.
Yeah, something with an X. I could never pronounce it.
Yeah, I have the action figure.
Yeah,
because I think they talked to this guy in an earlier episode, like maybe season 5. I don't remember now, but I don't think it's him. But it's the same race, same clothing.
And then the middle one is a Pike.
I believe so. Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
So you've got the what is it? The Black Suns are the guys on the left, the Pikes, and then the Crimson Dawn.
Very cool. And then Kira is kind of like behind Drayden Voss somewhere, probably, right?
I'm trying to think of when that takes place. I don't know if Kira would be around just yet there, because I think Solo is like 9 years before A New Hope. 9 or 10 years before A New Hope.
It is?
Yeah.
I thought it took... Okay. I'll take your word for it.
And I don't know where this... Because isn't Revenge of the Sith is... When is Revenge of the Sith? Is it 10 years? No. 20 years.
20 years, yeah.
Yeah, right.
So there's still 10 more years and then Solo happens?
Yeah. So this is like a young Dryden Voss running the Crimson Dawn.
Yeah. I didn't catch this in the normal watch. So you're totally opening up my eyes to this.
Nice.
Which is pretty cool.
Okay. There's a little reference in this part that I don't want to spoil for you if you ever read the Son of Dathomir comics. I didn't know until I just Googled it earlier today that those are canon. I thought they were not canon. So there's a story about Darth Maul. The book was the comic. I have like the thicker, like all the books in one volume situation. I don't know. Maybe I'll let you borrow it. It was really good.
Cool. Yeah, that sounds good.
And it'll open up a few more things. It'll make a few more things in this episode at least make a little more sense if you have that bit of background.
Okay. But is he telling them like get ready or the crime crime lords or crime syndicate guys? Yeah, like our time is coming, like, chaos is going to reign and we're going to reign.
He actually tells them to go hide.
Okay.
Yeah, that what's her name? The purple-haired Mando, the girl. Yeah. I think she tells Gar Saxon that Maul just told the syndicate to go into hiding. And he goes, go ahead.
Are they capable of they're all capable of existing on their own. They don't really need him to oversee them, right? Like he's just kind of like the Godfather, and they're his what you call them, capos or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah, pretty much.
Captains.
Yeah, you're on the right track.
All right.
They each lead their little groups. The Black Suns, Crimson Dawn, and if that is the Pikes, I can't tell. Okay. And then he kind of tells them what to do individually, I think.
And then he's obviously not wrapped up with the Hutts. Then he's not really concerned about them.
I want to say,
because you would think they'd make some good allies, but
I think they're more rivals than anything.
Oh,
I think. I want to say I read that somewhere that they were there was some kind of rivalry between them and the Hutts.
Interesting.
Yeah. I think Maul refers to his like group as like the Shadow Syndicate or something. That's like, that's him and those three groups.
Okay.
I think.
Didn't Maul take over Hondo's group for a little bit?
I think so, yeah. Yeah, there was some stuff between Hondo and Maul.
Right. In a previous episode.
I don't know if like Hondo probably squirreled his way out of dealing with Maul.
Yeah.
I can't remember how.
You'd think Hondo would still because I don't know, I'm a little rusty. Like I said, I've only watched some of the episodes once. Like, wouldn't Hondo's group be part of this syndicate as well? Or Hondo took his group back and
I don't know.
Severed ties.
I'd have to go back and watch to really have a good answer there.
Okay.
I know that there was something went on in there, but I can't remember what. There's so many episodes.
Right.
So Maul goes on another Shakespearean
rant.
Yeah. But this one was kind of cool. He talks about how the dark side has never been stronger, and he goes on to try to, I guess, pump up the Mandalorians, which I think he's kind of a good. Well, he's not totally a good leader for them because, as we see later on, he bails on them.
Right.
But he's like, soon the galaxy will be remade, and in the chaos we must seize what power we can. It is not the way of your people to hide here in the gutters. Nice little nod to the Mandalorian series, because that's basically where the Mandalorians are hiding after Return of the Jedi, in the gutters.
Right.
And he's like, if you die, I promise you it will be on the field of battle, and if you die, you will die as warriors. I mean, that's the kind of stuff that the Mandos want to hear before they go out to fight. So I think that's really cool.
Yeah, that's some Spartan stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. Right. What does he say?
Sparta.
Eat your breakfast. Wow. God, I can't remember that line from the 300. I loved it though.
Oh, he goes, Spartans. Eat well or something like that, because tonight you dine in hell.
Yeah, something like that.
Oh, he goes, eat hearty, Spartans, because tonight you dine in hell.
Nice. I love it.
The troops are rallied. The final push. The captains are told, hey, nothing you can do here. Go and take care of your business. Keep growing your evil deeds. Our time's coming soon, and we'll get back to you, as soon as we can. Right? I mean,
pretty much, yeah. And then here's something else. Remember when we were watching season 2 of The Mandalorian, and when Boba Fett and Din show up at the bar where Casca Reeves and Bo-Katan are at? Remember how Bo-Katan was kind of like snotty towards Din?
Yes.
Here's another one of those things. They cut to a scene where the clone troopers are like escorting citizens.
Yeah.
I forget what it's basically like an occupation, even though it's not. And Bo seems, they're taking him to like a shelter location. And Bo seems bothered that the clones are there.
Yeah, but it was...
She asked for it.
Yeah.
Right?
She did. And she's like, the people won't stand for this.
Yeah.
I won't stand for this. Right. Well, I mean, what do you expect? I mean, yeah, you asked for the clone army's help. They helped you. They took over, and they're going to, try to contain and provide order. They're not just going to let everything kind of go back to Mandalorian control, not just yet, not until everything's secured, because I think there's a couple of battles or stuff still going on.
Mm-hmm.
The clones are trying to keep people safe. I mean,
yeah, they're doing what she asked. I mean, do you think maybe she's like mad that she couldn't do it herself. So she's just, like projecting her self anger onto others. Maybe, I don't know.
Well, that's a good point. I mean, that's a good flaw to have, and that's a good well-rounded character if that's the case.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, that's a good. She could be upset that, like, man, I couldn't do this on my own, and I'm going to take it out on these people that helped me because that's just who I am.
Right. She just, I don't know. I love Bo-Katan. She's one of my favorite characters, but it weirds me out when she goes from being friendly to just like, grr,
I think she's frustrated because she wants Mandalore to be free too. Here's another hurdle. Now, I mean, she knew that this was going to happen, but here's another obstacle that the Mandalorians need to, like, first it was, not first. I don't even know what first is, but, like, we could just fast forward to this part. They had to deal with Almec. Almec's taken care of. Maul still the rightful leader, and we got to figure all that out. And then now the clones, now the clones are telling them the Mandalorians what to do. That not the rocket. The jetpack Mandalorians or armored Mandalorian, but just like the everyday
the citizens,
the civilians, yeah. So I think she's just frustrated with all that, and she just wants a free Mandalore, because it's kind of been through a lot, and apparently some more stuff's going to happen. When I always forget his name, the guy who's got the Darksaber and the Mandalorian.
Oh, Moff Gideon?
Moff Gideon, yeah.
Yeah.
And then Boba Fett tells us that Mandalore has been turned to glass. So, doesn't get easier.
Right. It's a very steep uphill battle.
Yeah.
So I guess I'm flying a little through this part, but Bo, Rex, and Ahsoka are heading towards the throne room.
Right.
And they walk in, and I can't remember. I didn't write down the conversation that they're having, the three of them, but they walk in and Maul's sitting on the throne, and he's like, I wholeheartedly agree, or whatever he says.
Yeah.
And Bo like rushes with her blasters. Have you ever seen blaster bolts curve before?
No, and I was wondering, it reminds me of the Bespin scene, Han Solo and Darth Vader. And why didn't Darth Vader use this tactic?
Mm-hmm.
Well,
I mean, he reflects them. Vader does.
Yeah.
But this, go ahead. I didn't mean to cut you off.
Kylo Ren stops a blaster bolt
right
in midair for a long time,
which is really cool.
But no, I've never seen him turn before, which is very cool.
Right.
And Darth Maul was all like, "That is no way to treat your rightful ruler."
Right.
So at this point, Darth Maul has the Darksaber, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, how come he doesn't use it?
I know. That was one of my questions. I wanted to ask you, like, one other thing before we get on that, though. When he, like, after he says the rightful ruler thing you just said, and he lifts her up, like, with the force choke, do you think he purposely set her back down so she would land on her knees like she was kneeling before her ruler?
Oh.
Or do you think that's just how she dropped?
No, I think he caught it, dude.
Okay.
That's good stuff. Yeah, for him to for her to, like, know her place.
Mm-hmm.
And him trying to assert his will on her.
That's what I was thinking. It feels very evil ruler and Sith like of a thing to do, Well, you're not going to kneel before your ruler. I'm going to make you kneel.
Right.
Know?
No, for sure. The way he's sitting on the throne too, with his knee up and everything, like, no, nonchalant.
Cool. Dude, even the way he, like, when he waves off those blaster bolts, he's just like a lazy cat, like, maybe I'll swat at this. Like, just like no effort whatsoever. You could tell he's feeding off of the dark side getting stronger in the galaxy. He's definitely feeding off of that.
Absolutely.
Why he doesn't use the Darksaber, I don't know. Because if I had the Darksaber, I'd be using that thing. I mean, not that his lightsabers aren't awesome, but
yeah.
But I guess at least on Mandalore. Although But he's like the shadow ruler of Mandalore. Remember, Almec is basically his puppet.
Yeah.
So maybe, I don't know, but he doesn't strike me as the type that would care about that. He would just...
Yeah. Maybe he's... The way that I make it sense in my head is like he's trained more to like a battle, lightsaber battle with that staff that he's got, that he feels more comfortable with that than a single blade.
Yeah.
But where the darksaber is, I don't know. Like it's...
I know you don't even see it.
Yeah. Unless he's got it somewhere behind him. I don't know. You don't see it.
Yeah, I think, and again, I'd have to go back. Maybe we'll have to go back and watch all these Mandalorian episodes. The Clone Wars ones, because I think at one point when he's sitting on the throne, there's like a stand somewhere near it with the darksaber on it.
Oh, okay,
but I could be wrong. That might be.
Isn't it just a hilt when it's not like?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just, I mean, it is a lightsaber. It's just the dark saber.
The dark version of it. Okay, cool.
Yeah. So, what is he? He gives Jesse back, like you said, right?
He gives him back.
And he talks to him like he's a pet. Like, go on, boy. Go back to your owners.
Which I find just like I mean, Jesse survives, he's a survivor.
Yeah.
So if he's any got anything going for him, he's definitely just making his way.
Right.
Maybe there's
weird.
Something in store for him in the Bad Batch or something.
Maybe. Yeah, because I don't know. Like, I would just think that once Maul was done with him, he would have killed him.
Yeah, same here. So this is he does say it's a show of good faith, and what is he trying to achieve? Like, is he trying to get on Ahsoka's good side to persuade her to join his cause? And he's like, I'm not such a bad guy. Hey, look what I did. I give people back, hostages back,
Yeah, that makes sense. Because like you said, once he learns about Ahsoka, he wants to turn her, maybe not necessarily to the dark side, but to use her to gain what he needs.
Yeah.
So yeah, that would make sense. Oh, he gave back a clone. He's not. He's only murdered tons of other people, but
right. Satine and Pre Vizsla, and who else did he kill? Did he kill? No, he didn't kill Savage, right?
No, didn't Palpatine?
Yeah.
So
that was way off there.
So there's obviously the battle going on outside. Rex and Jesse leave, and then you hear explosions, and Maul's like, one of you might want to go deal with that.
Nice.
I crack up at that part.
Subtly in charge still, and then that leaves him and Ahsoka to have a little one-on-one. So now he knows who she is.
Mm-hmm.
And he knows that she got basically kicked out of the Jedi Order.
Yeah, she says you were cast out of the Jedi Order.
Right. And then, he's going to use that to his advantage.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to use that information.
Yeah, because she says, I left voluntarily. And he's like, yes, but you were motivated to leave by the hypocrisy of the Jedi Council.
Right.
Starting to, get those things kind of embedded into her mind. But Ahsoka kind of thinks on that for a second, right? She's silent.
Right.
And that's I guess a question I may have already asked you. I have written down here. Do you think his end game here, now that he knows a little bit about her, is that he wants to turn her to the dark side and be his apprentice, like you were saying, or more so just to get to his own end game?
I think he's looking for his number two. She's obviously a Force wielder. She's been separated from the Jedi Order. There's a lot of good things there. Like, he knows that she's probably hurt, so he could probably feed off of that hurt feeling that that Ahsoka has.
Mhm.
And he eventually I think he can, I think he sees a lot of potential in Ahsoka. She knows how to use the lightsaber and everything. So he could definitely use her to further his interests.
Yeah, I agree. And also, like you had just mentioned, he just recently lost Savage, who
Right.
he was molding into his apprentice.
His brother.
His brother. And as we know, the Sith don't like to work alone. So
No.
makes sense.
Yeah, and as you mentioned before, Fives, like they're always looking for their partner in crime to keep their competition going, to keep their skills as high as possible.
Mm-hmm.
So he's looking for his phantom apprentice, maybe.
There it is. So Ahsoka doesn't really feed into what he's telling her, though. I mean, you can tell she's kind of thinking, but I think she's more thinking like, how can I use this to my advantage, as opposed to like joining him. And she, what does she say? She says she's there to bring him to justice.
Right.
And he like laughs it off, like everything's going to change. What good is bringing me to justice?
Yeah.
And
there's going to be a whole new law.
Right. And then I don't have like the exact words here, or the conversation, but because he already revealed the name Sidious to her, she asks if Sidious is behind everything that's about to change. And a line that you actually hear in The Rise of Skywalker, you hear here, which obviously it's just common knowledge to anyone that watches. He's behind everything, in the shadows always, is what Maul says. And I believe it's Leia says that in The Rise of Skywalker.
Ah.
But Ahsoka is like, if you help, I want to say she says something along the lines of, if you help us, the Jedi or whatever, we can stop him before it's too late. And I wish I would have wrote down everything Maul said. Should I play it?
Sure.
We's like,
we were used, weren't we tools at that? It talks about they were both used by their own.
Oh yeah, when does that part happen? That's like, I think that's a little bit before, right?
Yeah. When they're talking in the throne room, I don't have the quote written down now.
Okay.
But I know it's another one of those trying to get into Ahsoka's head, and have her doubt everything that she's working towards here and the side that she's fighting for or aligned with at this point.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. I like what he says here. So
yes.
And Darth Sidious is behind it?
He is behind everything. In the shadows, always, but soon, very soon. He will reveal himself.
With your help, the Jedi can stop Sidious before it's too late.
Too late? For what? The Republic to fall? It already has, and you just can't see it. There is no justice, no law, no order, except for the one that will replace it. The time of the Jedi has passed. They cannot defeat Sidious. But together, you and I can.
Boom. You hear like the boom in the background?
Yeah.
Dude, just what he says there, like I love the way he says it. Sam Witwer's awesome. He does a great job. But he's just like, too late for what? The Jedi and the Republic have fallen and nobody can see it. Like it's already over. Is what he's saying. And I'm just like, man.
Right. It's hopeless.
Yeah. But then he's like, that famous Star Wars line, together, you and I can. We can stop it.
If any of these people would ever they do. Anakin and Darth Vader. Darth Vader and Palpatine get together.
Mm-hmm.
So then look what happens.
Right.
But
it's just Ahsoka like stops though, man, and I like where I pause at the screen, it's like she's thinking about it. She's immediately like, huh,
well,
maybe we can.
Doesn't she agree at one point in the episode?
Mm-hmm.
But then she asks him a question, and then she's back off. Like
she shouldn't have asked.
Yeah, she asked him about Anakin, right? Like,
Yep.
what's Anakin got to do with all this? What's Anakin got to do with this?
Nice.
And Darth Maul's all like,
I
it's got
know.
everything to do with it.
Dude, and you know what's crazy is during this conversation, they like briefly cut to this crazy battle that's going on outside between the clones and the black and red Mandos.
Yeah.
There's like this, it's very Return of the Jedi-ish, you know, where you've got this young Force user, a dark Force user trying to get that one to join him, all while this battle is going on outside the windows.
Right. Totally.
It's crazy how they...
It's good. It's a good pickup. Yeah, and
Yeah.
this is the end of the Clone Wars, and you know, and this is you know, and that was the Return of the Jedi, which is the end of the original trilogy,
Right.
and the end of the Force Awakens. I mean, the Force Awakens, the Skywalker.
Mm-hmm. Right. There's always that big battle going on outside.
Right. So it's like that. And
Okay.
then, yeah, go ahead.
Oh, no, I was just going to say that the one thing I noticed about that battle outside was there's no Bo-Katan out there. Like she jetpacked out of the throne room. You'd think she would have been at the fight. And I'm like, where is she? You know, and
Yeah.
the clones are starting to get kind of slaughtered out there. But then they cut back to this throne room and the window shatters. What are they? There's something going on, like some kind of symbolism there, right? With the glass shattering in slow motion, like shards like floating around Ahsoka and Darth Maul.
I just think that the whole thing is coming down. The whole thing is starting to fall apart. The Republic and the clones and the Separatists, and Mandalorians. That's probably what it's probably subliminally trying to tell you.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
I figured you'd have a good answer for that. So then we get to where she asks the question, you know, what do you want with Anakin? And he's like, you know, he's the key to everything.
Right.
And Ahsoka's like, to bring balance to the Force, and Maul's just like, to destroy.
To destroy.
Yeah, and I'm like, oof, it's so true.
He
And
doesn't say destroy the Jedi, though.
no, he just says to destroy.
Yeah.
Destroy everything. And he goes, he has long been groomed for his role as my master's new apprentice.
Yeah. You think he's jealous at this point?
Oh, yeah.
Like,
I mean, that's a Sith trait, jealousy.
yeah. He wanted to destroy the Jedi and everything. Right?
Well, yeah. I mean, you go back to the Phantom Menace, and you know, I can't remember the word for word. At last we will reveal ourselves. At last we will have revenge. You know, he thought he was going to be a whole part of the Sith getting their revenge on the Jedi.
Right.
And I think he still wants to take it away from Palpatine. He wants to do it himself, because Palpatine was just like, oh, I don't need you anymore. You're cut in half. And
Yeah.
you know, Maul's all about revenge too, man. He wants revenge against Obi-Wan for cutting him in half and ruining his apprenticeship. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's just, but yeah, I definitely think there's jealousy there. He wants to be what Anakin has been groomed to be.
Right. Right. That's what I
Yeah.
was getting at. Right.
Yeah, it's definitely a good point there. You know, and Ahsoka's just like, you lie, and Maul's like, I'm afraid not. And he's like, you know, he tells Ahsoka he orchestrated this whole battle that's going on outside to lure Obi-Wan and Anakin there so he could kill Anakin and deprive Sidious of his prized pupil. So there, there's Maul. He hates both sides,
Right.
know? And I don't know if you notice like the little drum beat that picks up at this part. Like it starts like, like slowly building up because what's about to happen.
Oh yeah.
Ahsoka,
get it on.
right? Ahsoka ignites her lightsabers, and then he says that line that you said earlier. I see the Padawan needs one last lesson.
One last lesson. Yep.
Yeah. And I think that this lightsaber battle is one of the best in Star Wars.
Oh yeah.
I think these two are surprisingly evenly matched. They fight a similar way. They do flips and kicks, and Maul does his classic elbow to the face on her, and she drops one of the lightsabers in the process.
Which he likes to do.
Right. Yeah. I know, she's always dropping one lightsaber. That's a good catch.
Yeah.
And
that's like a Ahsoka's. She's in peril. Oh no, she lost a lightsaber.
Right.
But she still has one lightsaber.
Yeah, she's always got the backup.
Right. So she's fine.
So I heard that for this fight that they did some mocap with Ray Park.
Okay.
My understanding is it's not all motion capture, but some of it, and you can totally.
Yeah, no, it looks like they took this fight scene to a different animation level. Like it looks realistic.
Mm-hmm.
Just the way all the they're flying around and everything. And I think you're right because there's on IMDb there's another person listed as Ahsoka.
Yeah,
I mean, I know you're right. So she's like a martial artist.
From my understanding, while you look for the name, is she also did the stunt work for the blacksmith in The Mandalorian.
Oh,
I think
Lauren Mary Kim.
Yeah.
So I was like, wait a minute, and Ahsoka Tano, isn't that Ashley Eckstein? And I'm like, oh, but then you're right, and she must have done some stunt work.
Mm-hmm.
So there you go. There's the mocap, like you're talking about.
So like, I think that's so cool that they had two actors basically doing the fight scene, because like you said, I mean, it took the animation to a whole different level. It looks amazing.
Oh, look at this. She was Casca Reeves' stunt double as well.
You captured her stunt double?
Yeah.
No kidding. I didn't know that. That's really cool.
So how about that? She was in The Rescue, The Tragedy. She was Ming Nang Wen's stunt double in The Tragedy. Yeah, so she's well in the back in the this fight scenes.
That's awesome. I did not know that. So yeah, during their fight though, there's like that, typical pause, and Ahsoka goes, "You're lucky Anakin didn't show up. The way you're fighting, you wouldn't have lasted long." and Maul's like, "Oh, you have Kenobi's arrogance." And I was totally thinking that when she said that line, I'm like, that's totally something Obi-Wan would say.
Oh yeah, you know how it goes. She's like an apprentice of Anakin, and Anakin's always with. Oh, I mean, they're the three of them were together a lot, so she's gonna pick up some stuff. So yeah.
Oh yeah, kind of like what we touched on last week. Like they're brothers and sister.
Yeah.
Like they're very similar. And then after he says that, she goes, "You'll find I have many qualities for you to dislike." And I'm like, that's totally Luke in the carbon freeze chamber. You'll find out I'm full of surprises. It's like, that's good stuff there. And
I like it when Maul goes out the window. It gets like thrown out the window, and then the impression of the staff goes with them too. I kind of find it comical,
Right.
Kind of like a line for the lightsaber to go,
Mm-hmm.
that went through. It was pretty funny. I get a kick out of that part. Yeah.
Does she really think he's dead there? I don't think she thinks.
No.
Obi-Wan said, what does he say? He's difficult to kill or whatever.
Difficult to kill. Yeah. The music. Yeah. The music gets intense there, though. That's for sure.
Right.
Takes it up a notch. And so when the music goes up, it's time for something big's going to happen. And I think they're battling it out. Their lightsabers. It's going to be intense.
Right.
Oh, they fight on the on those
like
beams.
The rafter beams.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So they're fighting on those beams, and Ahsoka. No, she doesn't disarm him. What does she do? Oh, she grabs. She's disarmed. She doesn't have any lightsabers, and she's like dodging and whatever. And then she does like what does she do? She does some kind of move. Okay, so he lunges towards her, and she dodges and grabs his lightsaber and cuts the beam that he's standing on. So he drops, and then she uses the Force to keep him afloat. And he's like, "No, let me die." And in the meantime, which I thought was weird, his Mandalorians down below surrendered. You would think they would have gone down fighting rather than surrender.
Yeah.
That's not, to me, that's out of character for a Mandalorian, but whatever. I get why, because some of them
were overwhelmed.
They were overwhelmed, and I think some of them are still around even during the Mandalorian series. That's just me speculating. And so, he's got her afloat, and Rex and the clones get on a gunship, and they get up there. And Maul's just like flipping out at this point. You're all going to burn. We're all going to die. You don't know what you're doing. And, then they zap him with the stun. So I guess my question, my last question for you is, when he's saying that you're all going to burn, we're all going to die, you don't know what you're doing, is he panicking because he's trapped, or is he panicking because he wanted to stop it?
Oh boy, that's a good question. I think he wanted to stop it. He wanted to thwart the plans. He wanted to be the thorn in Palpatine's or Sidious's, that he wasn't expecting. He wanted to, but by him being captured, he's going to be immobilized. He's not going to be able to do what he wanted to do. And I think he wants revenge first and foremost. And so if he's captured, he can't do anything.
He can't do any of it. Yeah.
So whatever's going to happen is going to happen. And that was his chance, and it's over, and he's freaking out.
And then the last scene is Ahsoka like staring off while she's standing on the beams. And I'm just like, does she think she did the right thing or the wrong thing? I know I said that was one last question, but that one just popped in.
She saved the day, but did she lose?
Did she lose the battle?
The battle or the war? Yeah, we won't know. We're going to have to find out in the next episodes.
Right. So Clone Army, we're running short on time, and I think we'll save trivia for next week.
Okay.
You want to do that? Just
sure.
'cause we're short on time, and then
you guys got any questions on this episode? Email us at clonearmyradio@gmail.com, or leave a quick tweet if you want at our Twitter page at Clone Army Radio. We'd like to hear from you, and if you want to add your 2 cents or have a question, definitely let us know.
Perfect. Thank you all for listening. We'll catch you all next time, and may the Schwartz be with you.
The Schwartz be with you.
Do it, Admiral Piet.